Hello, the doc is in and welcome back to another chapter of One Punch Man, chapter 179, Witnesses. In the last chapter, basically, we got the beginning of Saitama, the One Punch Man v Tatsumaki. Minor fight, because Tatsumaki is being a little crazy. Saitama decides to intervene by grabbing Tatsumaki's hand. She gets mad, tries to kill him. She can't damage him because, I mean, he's the One Punch Man. And then what happens from there? Basically, Saitama grabs her, acquaintance zones Fubuki, and then jumps out the building while carrying Tatsumaki, and Tatsumaki is quite flustered. And that's where the chapter ends. Let's begin this chapter. All right, so chapter starts off, we cut to some random family, right? And it seems like they're trying to move into like the Hero Association. And we got this super macho looking guy who's basically like, I got a 35-year loan so that we can live in this building because, you know, all the monsters and stuff. And, you know, you got this one guy, his wife, their son. The son's like, oh my god, the heroes. And like, yo, it seems all nice. They're going over there, and, you know, we then catch them looking at Saitama and Tatsumaki flying out of the building, because if you remember, Saitama jumped out of the Hero Association at the very end of the chapter, and they crash on the ground. Well, they're about to crash, and Tatsumaki's basically like, why are you still holding me? And she calls him a pervert, and, you know, she's still flustered. So then she tries to like swing him off, and then she like slams him in the ground, and he's still holding on to her. And so she's like, why won't you let go of me? Do you like me or something? Very tsundere. And he's like, what? No, you just have a problem with like running away and destroying houses. And she's like, she wasn't standing for the disrespect. So she's basically like, what the fuck? All right, you're weaker than me. Let go of me. I'm not running away from you, you bitch. And so he lets go. He's like, all right, I'll take her word for it. And she's basically, she dusts herself off, you know, waves her hand, and she's like, anyway, you seem pretty strong, I'm not gonna lie. So that means you can have a little bit of fun. And so basically it seems like the new plot for why Tatsumaki and Saitama are gonna fight is basically, she's like, you could be a good practice dummy for a little bit, you know, let me exert my power a little bit. And so she flicks him in the head, right, sends him flying, but he doesn't like fall on the ground or hit his back or anything. Guy stands his ground, sort of, right? And so then she just fucking starts a tornado, all right, putting that Tatsumaki name to good use. And Saitama's like, shit, this seems like fun. And so I guess they're just gonna, well, I don't even see it, I guess. I mean, the rest of the chapter, they're just gonna fucking fight. Basically for no reason. It's like, it's weird. It's cool, but it's also weird in a way. I guess the best way to put it is, it's like two powerhouses who don't know each other are like crazy powerhouses, basically being like, you seem like somebody I can really test my mettle on. Let's see how long you hold up. And they're just like having a fun fight in both their heads. They're like, this guy can't handle my full power. And it's just interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. If you're a Tatsumaki fan, Saitama x Tatsumaki, this is pretty good evidence for you. If you're not, then this sucks. Anyway, we cut back to Hero Association. Got the Fubuki group and some other heroes who are now in the basement area, and they're like, so there's an Esper and a Trader in here, and turns out they've left. Right? And so we catch these guys, they're bleeding a lot, and the guy just got rid of the poison, and they're driving away, and they're like, holy shit, we almost died. And the one guy is like, oh yeah, you know, next time, the one guy got poisoned. He's like, next time I see Tatsumaki, it's gonna be up. And like, they're driving past the tornado or whatever, but no one really notices because, I mean, of course they don't. We then cut back to the fight. And basically you have Tatsumaki throwing rocks at him, you got the tornado, whatever, and of course Saitama can block rocks and dodge them or whatever. So right, they're just having this whole on fight, and the Hero Association is like, holy shit, what's going on? And you know what, they keep on throwing shade at my guy Metal Knight. They're like, oh, you know, this crazy situation going on, it must be a monster. They're like, we need a hero to help out, and we can't call him Metal Knight because he's unreliable. I'm like, guys, like, I understand, you know, technically Metal Knight fails you guys in all these instances, but I'm like, they're like crazy powerhouses, like world destroying level monsters and heroes just around. Like, there's gonna be fuck shit going on. Like, can we give my man some credit? Why are we giving him such a hard time for not literally preparing god level defenses for one building? Like, come on, guys. Like, give my man a break. Anyway, they're basically handling the situation, whatever. There's kind of this whole crisis alerts and preparation, whatever. We cut back to the family, right? So the guys driving, right? They're going down the one road, and Saitama and Tatsumaki are having their fight next to the road. So, right? And the kid's like, oh my god, this is so amazing. I wonder what's going on here. And he's like, oh my god, it's Tatsumaki. She's one of the heroes. She must be fighting something. And then we get a cut. Good Saitama panel. Very nice. Anyway, go back, and so basically, like, oh my god, it must be such a serious situation that they're having a fight right outside the Hero Association. And the kid's like, oh, I'm a huge fan of her. I really want to hear her voice, right? And the mom's like, we're gonna die. I actually don't want to do that. And a stray rock ends up heading towards the car, and so Saitama blocks for the car, and he's like, oh shoot, you know, you're about to kill him, right? And he yells at her. She's like, yeah, chill out. And Tatsumaki's like, don't be boring, all right? I know what I'm doing, all right? Focus on me. And so she goes back on the offensive or whatever, and he's kind of like, I guess I'll just baby her, you know, she's not really listening to me, and I can't really let her go back as she is, so I guess I'll just tuck her out and, you know, entertain her. And so, right, he's blocking those rocks. He's like, slaps one and heads toward the car again. This is the second time they're about to get hit, all right? And so Saitama's, I guess you could say, a little late, but Tatsumaki saves them, and like, she moves the whole car out the way, and she's like, basically she calls Saitama Baldy, and it's like, oh, stop. You're like, oh, I thought we were trying to protect the car, huh? Be more careful, Baldy. And he's like, what do you say to me, midget? And basically it's all back and forth, but it's like, and so Tatsumaki, you know, she didn't mess with being called short, so she's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this guy up. So she drops the car, and she's like, get the fuck out of here. And the family's just like the dad is just like, you got to hear her voice, great, right? And the kid's just, I know his heart and his freaking asshole, right? And so they just run off, and the fight continues between Saitama and Tatsumaki, and of course she's like ramping it up because she's mad now, and Saitama's just running around dodging and stuff, right? And so then, you know, going back to her initial thing, she's like, oh, you can't be around Fubuki because you're not strong enough, yada yada yada. And Saitama's like, honestly, I'm over it, I just want to go home now. End of chapter. Once again, as per the usual, great arts, great chapter, very enjoyable. Honestly, just a good for fun chapter. I don't know if this fight is gonna get like genuinely serious, or we're gonna keep it in gag territory, which honestly it could stay in gag territory, because it's like, does it need to get serious like that? Because like, just coming off like the reasons for the fight starting and stuff, and like how we're kind of going with it, it's like there's a really like serious motivation on either side. Like, now that Saitama's let go and stuff, it's kind of like the whole, like she said in the beginning, it's kind of like more like she's just kind of like dicking around. She's just like, you know, you're someone who I don't feel like is gonna immediately die if I start turning up the heat on them, so let me have some fun. And Saitama's kind of like, well, at first he was kind of doing it just to do it, but now it seems like he's like begrudgingly going along with this just to keep the peace to a certain degree. So I mean, I don't think this is gonna get like serious, coming off like the webcomic, or at least what I can remember of like what happens in it. It seems a little bit more serious there, like where it's like more of an intervention for Tatsumaki, where in this instance it kind of seems like we've kind of left behind to a certain degree the Fubuki plotline of this fight. It's more like just kind of like I said, them dicking around, like two powerhouses basically being like, the other person can't handle it, so let me not go too crazy, and that's about it. But who knows, maybe Saitama will do something that pisses Tatsumaki off, and she really like turns up the heat, and of course Saitama's like, alright, you're getting a little too serious for me, Missy, let me turn up the heat on you too. And there we go. But yeah, I think that's about it for the chapter. Thanks for watching, see you guys in the next one. The doc is out. Peace.
Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and watch the videos on the right. Other than that, the doc is out. Bye.